Welcome. The garage is now turning into a bit of a workshop, and as promised, when I done that's the bikes under the cover. When I sorted that video out, I went, I've got a box here now. So I've been busy in here. Look, the table's clean now. So I'm starting to take shape. I've got rid of a lot of stuff. Still a lot of stuff to go. Don't worry, I'm not finished on that yet. As you can see, look, beer and the burn still got to go. And I've got my new addition in here. Look at that. Fuck it. Let's drink. The camera's usually on that side to look, and I've got my phone the wrong way around. It's on this side. So, so what's in the important box then? Let's go and set the camera up on the rig. Let's take you out your misery. Before I do that, actually, I've got something to show you. So here's the secret. It's all to do with this wee bit of plastic here. Okay. So I'm going to do a major update, which I think will help people. So I went and purchased this, and this is actually 240 AC to 12 volt DC inverter, current changer, whatever term it is that you want to call it. Now, these things aren't very dear, right? But what I've done is I've bought one because the battery side of things, well, they're just not doing it for us, eh? So as you can see now, I like having it showing the temperature in here. So in the summer house here just now it's 16 degrees, which is quite good, okay? But this box here is the main power feed. Sorry, there's another 2 wires come from this box of tricks outside, alright? And they actually go to that. That's the 2 wires that's into the power bank itself, okay? So that's giving it full power. So remember the setup I done on this, okay? And the setup was that I've put this box outside. I've got a lot of shite here I still need to get rid of. But I've got my box here, I've got my cover on it. There's the wires there, okay? So that black one there, that's going to the wee gimp that switches it off and on. The other 2 wires here is the red and the black, okay? The red and the black here is your live and your earth. So the black I've got going into, well, I used a bit of earth wire, you can see at the bottom there. And I just thrown it around there. I've not tidied this up yet, okay? But as you can see here, I've actually drilled a hole, 2 wee pinholes, right? And I've drilled it up the way. And the reason for that is if there is any rain comes onto here, it'll hit the wires and run down onto the ground. It won't be soaking. The water will not hit the wire, and soak the inside of the garage. So I hear you asking, big whoop, what's all this got to do with this box? And what's it got to do with this bit of plastic? Well, this is a 6mm Y splitter, okay? And I'll turn the camera around again. Right. So this feed here is my diesel feed going to the diesel heater outside. This Y splitter is going to go, that cable there is going into that Y, and then there'll be a bit of black pipe like that will go into this part of the Y, and that'll go up to there. Yes, diesel will also flow out of that hole, which is why I bought my 3rd cheap Chinese diesel here. Yes, I bought a 3rd one. Now, I've been looking for a lot of info on something like this, on how to do a setup like this, okay? So, and I've not really come across anything. It's just all the usual stuff. But the reason I want to do this again It's because to make you guys aware that there is bargains out there. These things were going for stupid money last year in September, October area, and they went ballistic. The prices of them were just absolutely ballistic. But I've bought a specific one here, and it came with not one, but 2 pieces of the black tubing. Okay, that'll come handy for when I do the fitment, because this one here, that's going outside, and that there is where I had the other one coming in from. So I'm going to have air blowing straight out, and I'm also going to use the T-piece to go that way and throw air down that way as well. So, but the table here, I've got that there for a reason, because I'm just going to actually set it up with a mock setup. So, let's not put this off any longer. Let's see what I've got inside the box. By the way, as I always state my prices, I picked this bad boy up for £85. Yep, on my favourite shop, A to Z. Honestly, I looked at the ones contained in the metal tanks. They're not worth it. Okay, for a kick-off, it's the same unit. That you only get a 5 litre fuel tank into it, and it's just, I like doing it this way. Plus, off my first Chinese heater that I bought, if you can see this, that's a 15 litre tank. Alright, so what I'll be able to do is, when I'm ready to finish all this up, I will actually be taking the 10 litre tank off and swapping it for the 15 litre tank, because there will come some times where I'm also not just working out here, but I'm also going to have heat working there in the summer house. Very clever and ingenious. I think so. Sometimes my genius just amazes me. Let's open the box. Now, I'm not sure if you can hear us. I don't think it'll really matter if you can hear us. But let's get this thing bust open. No sure what I've done with my Stanley knife, so. But all in all, there we go. So, it's the usual. That's no needed. Another 10 litre tank. That's no needed. Instructions. That's no needed. This will be the box. It's got the parts in it. And here's the difference, okay? So there's your T-piece splitter thing. Base plate. Loads and sorts of fixings. 2 of them. 1 exhaust. White pipe. White pipe seems to be better, and it's never let me down. That's what I've been using on that. I've also got white pipe in here spare someplace. But here's the reason I bought this. Because see this stuff? This stuff is fucking expensive, right? So if you can get 2 bits, when you look at some of the kits, you're only getting price of 1. Now it may look short, only looks about a foot long, right? But this is expandable, not expendable. It's expandable. So I will use 1 piece for my whole metering, and I'll use the other piece, right, to go in the T-piece. So 1 bit will go there, and another bit will go there. And that, my friends, is how it will look. So, now that I've got that out of the way, let's see what the heater looks like. I cannot believe I got this for £85. Unbelievable. Sold my heart. And there we go. Look at that. Now again, this is another different controller, so this will be what it will be. But again, so I mean, it's just going to sit. This will sit someplace. I might even just sit here or up here, or I will sit in a nice wee position where I can see it. And that's your one noisy fuel pump. That'll be back outside again, so I didn't hear the tick, 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 tick. And there we go. Now it says that it's a 5 to 8 kilowatt. Uh, 12 volt. No. So there's, now this is the problem with these things, right? There's nothing says, so you're thinking you're buying an 8 kilowatt, you're only buying a 5. But as long as you're not buying a 2, because for the area the size of this garage, I think if I bought a 2, I don't think it would cope with the heat. So, but yeah. Air inlet, oil hole and vent. So, let's start the build. Let's get cracking on the build. So, 4 bolts. They go into there. Next thing, we have a rubber gasket. Okay, so it's a flanged area. You'll see the bit of a lip. The lip goes down to seal this. So, over the 2 big holes, over the bolt, and also over, there we go. And there you go. Next thing's a mounting plate for your vehicle. Okay, so this hole here, okay, that's where the fuel pipe goes through. Okay. Okay. 4 nuts. Should have looked at the sticker. Right. So the air, yeah. Okay. Next thing we need is the exhaust. Now, I'm sure I should use that one for the exhaust.
I need to change the bit on this to a flathead so I can get mount tight. I mean, who in their right mind uses these fucking type of screws anywhere now? That's too much. I'll get this side, wait a bit, hold on. There you go. Click, click. So, that's the exhaust on. Air intake, same idea. That goes onto this side. And thank Christ.
I can put my Phillips head back in again now. These work a lot better. I don't want to go too daft and over tighten them, because it's better to tighten and check and then, you know, just half turns, you know, because this stuff is quite flimsy, to be honest with you. Okay, this is very soft, so, and it's only for an air intake. So that, as you can see it now, that's it. Okay, so what I need to do now is go and get a Stanley knife. You get one length of this rubber tube and it just comes in. All you do is you just cut it to size, and if I lift my rig up here, so you'll see, there's the idea, a wee bit of tube to clamp onto, and then there's your plastic. That's the white plastic pipe that's you know, feeding the diesel into the whole system. So I'm needing a bit of this to go into that. Okay, so
Again. It doesn't have to be a big bit, but just enough. So that gets... Nope, it's not in. What is it? Sure, I don't know. Nah, I thought that was too wee. Okay. So if that's too wee, must be quick. Now this is some of the problems that you sometimes run into. I think these things are meant to be so to go onto that, but they're far, far, far too small. So I could understand them going onto something a bit smaller. There's no way.
there's no way. Look, if you see the size of that and the size of that, look. So when I splice it right open, look, it's still smaller, so it's not going over this rubber. And that's what you need to clamp that in with. So that doesn't make sense. And I've not got nothing else because I've laid everything out in front of us. So I'm not sure if they put this into the bag and they've gave us the wrong stuff. Okay, let's see if I can find something else lying about. Right, there's nothing lying about to keep these clips and pipes and that together. I've managed to use them, but they're just nipping into the end and they are holding enough, but I'm not happy with them. They ain't satisfactory, that's a cert. They're too small, they're not the right fitments for what I'm trying to do. So, but what I'm going to show you just now is, like, I'm actually draining the diesel tank, right, and I'm draining it and my jerry can. So once that is emptied, because I thought I was going to have to try and pull that out, plug the other one in, I'm going to have an open hole on the Y piece. So what I'm doing just now is I'm getting the Y piece ready. So as you can see, the heater's all built up. I've drilled a hole, hang on. So I've drilled a hole of 30mm, right, through the garage. Now, that is not touching. I've got it, and this, bear in mind, this is still only temporary, so don't panic. But that's going to throw the exhaust fumes out. Here is where it picks up fresh air for that. So it's like it's going to recycle the air. There's air as well comes in through that. All the exhaust fumes will go outside. This is the fuel pipeline that I've got running here just now. So I've got to go and put into that the pump, that's the diesel pump, and that's the fuel, the inline fuel filter. So basically your fuel pipe will come from the tank down into the fuel filter, and if there is any crap in there, it's not going into your pump. So when it comes from there, it should catch everything. If there is any dirty diesel, it won't affect your pump, and then it goes out the pump and right to your diesel heater. So once that's done, well, when that's emptied, I'll change the tank. What I'll do is I'll also show you how I drilled the hole. If I remember correctly, it's an 8mm, but I'll find that out, and I'll show you how to fit the wee grommet bit in. So I'll get this done and then I'll be back. Right, onto the tank. I'm going to do this because it's starting to get cold. I want to get this door shut. I don't want to get a bit of heat in here. So I've got the tank empty now. So what I'm going to do now is drill a hole. Okay, so here's what you do. It's that simple. You pick your edge on what way, because it can fit a couple of ways. I'm fitting mine that way so that it can fill in, which means the flow is coming out of that bit there. On that bit there, all I do is drill a hole right in the centre of the thick plastic. Voila. Now, the next thing you have to do is the bit people are kind of scared of. I've lost it. No, that's the urine. Or is it? I did a minute ago. There it is. Right. So this bit is the valve where it's sealed with an O-ring. Okay? But it has to come inside the tank out this hole. No an easy job. Or is it? So here's how I do this, okay? You need a thin piece of wire that actually goes through the centre of this, so it runs up and down. I'm going to try solder, or for my American friends, solder. What do you call it? Solder, and there's an L in it. So there you go. So as you can see, it slips up and down that, right? So what I have to do now is take a fair bit of this, right? And I have to get this to come out of here. So let's see if we can do it. Okay, oh, right, that's it in the hole. Now we've just got to, oh, see, I don't want it to go down that way. I want it to go down this way. Nearly there. This is why you got to try and keep a straight line on it. Because there's any kinks, there's no use whatsoever. Voila. Don't let this go. You let this go, your frere tucked. So, as you can see, I've got a hold of this. Tight as dynamite. Okay, so valve face down. Put it on. Okay, and then just drop it, and that's it. And what you'll find is, with all your shaking about, it will come out the bottom here. Okay, so look, it's fell out the bottom, so I now grab this maybe should have made the hole a bit wider, eh? Don't want to damage it with a bollocks. Let it go. See, the problem is, I want to try and keep this in the hole here as tight as possible. So if I keep it as tight as possible, right, then it's got a tight fit. Yes, and there we have it. Yes, and there it is. Okay, another O-ring. Okay, that goes over, because when the nut goes onto this, it squeezes it in. Right, so as you can see, there's the O-ring. And then the nut goes in. Now, bear in mind, so there's like so that finger tight, I can hardly move it anymore. I've got my spanner, okay? And what I'll do is, and that's it. That's the whole thing turning now. I'll try and hold it. You can maybe even hold it with a pair of pliers, okay? It doesn't need too much of a grip. It just needs to get a seal on it. So you'll find that holding it with the pliers, a couple of turns, and that's it. Bob's your auntie. All done. So, got my diesel, we put it in the tank, and I'll show you now the finished product. So here we go, as promised, 15 litre tank, new screws in, and there's the Y piece in now. So this feed here is to the summer house, and this feed here is to the garage. Okay. Now one thing you got to do is when you start off with scratch again, to get rid of the air, you have to actually prime it. So this pipe now comes from here and goes into here. So this is your filter, which then goes into the pump, and then it comes from there, bearing in mind just temporary, this comes out to here, and there you go. So the main thing is you got to make sure is that this sits away from the exhaust. Okay, that is an absolute must. Now I've got there you go. I'll let you see it that way. So what I can do now is I can actually go and take a bar cable or something, but I might even go and run it around through the back of the, just the back of the frame there. It's just so that this doesn't touch, because I hate this. And then, and that's it. So I've now got my wire here. And all that goes into the wire is the wee box. Now, once the wiring loom's done as well, okay, so there's the wiring loom here. Oh. Pointing it to the back. Here's the wiring loom. That then has to run from, oh God, from the heater all the way back underneath, and then that's the power box here, and that's going to power them both off. So I'll have 2 diesel heaters running from one power supply and only using one diesel tank. What tidy system, I think. So let's go and get the wiring done. It's all done. I'm installed. I'm wired. So what I've had to do is I've had to makeshift. I don't know why they do this, but they give you a pissy wee bit of earth wire. And mind you, these are meant to go into a vehicle, so they're probably looking at it as a close ground. So, but for an installation like this, that's all you do. A nice tidy wee join, get a nice bit of cable, run the earth up, and then as you can see now, I'm wired up to my junction box. So I'm now going to put the camera to show you that, and I'm going away now to give a live performance when I put the electric on. Okay, here goes. Now the polythene, as you can see, is still on this, right? But here we go. Here's electric. 3, 2, 1. $12 volts, and it's 7 degrees. Right, so if I now hold that, I'll just touch it there. There you go. It's the same as in the van. Right, so it's similar to the one that I've got. And now, one thing I should have done was I should have sucked through the diesel, but it doesn't give you a way of priming it. So what I'm looking for is, if I can move my camera, I'm needing this here. This has got to fill up. This has got to fill up with the diesel first, and then it's got to go for there through the pump. So I'll maybe see if I can suck this through. So I've got diesel into the tank now. Well, into there is the filter. So if you look close enough, it's starting to come through. I can't get any closer actually, but you'll see the air bubbles there. So it's going to prime that, so I'll wait till it's primed and then come back. Okay, so there you go. It's running now. That's the diesel all bled through, and as you can see, currently just now in here is 8 degrees, and I've got the chamber is burning at 162, 164. It's nearly at full temperature now, this thing. So what I'm looking to see now is if this will actually go from 8 degrees when it will start changing to 9. It is very, very, very cold in here, there's no getting away from it. But the heat that's come to this thing is fantastic. There's the chamber up to 170 degrees now. What is that in there? Okay. Right. Get a bar up to full heat again. There you go. 9 degrees. Yay! So that didn't take long actually. So in the space of just 5 minutes of getting this thing up and running, that is the temperature in my garage. So we'll come back, I'll come back in another, say, I'll give it 15 minutes and we'll see how much it goes for. That's it settled at 9 degrees now. Okay. I think it's time for a celebrator, eh? Fuck it, let's drink. Look at that. That's not even lager, is it? Alcohol free. But still worthy of a dance, because toasty. Your good health. There you go. I'm actually only 5 minutes in, and there you go. I went from 9 degrees to 12 degrees, and as you can see, the chamber is burning. It's still rising up now. Now it's now over 200 degrees centigrade in that chamber. The heat coming out of this heater is phenomenal. And ladies and gentlemen, I think I have a success. So, all that's left for me to do now is go and see if the one in the summer house will start. Right, so I'm now in the summer house. It's 8 degrees centigrade in here. You know what, I'll let that sit to 16. Okay, that's 12.4 volts. No errors. Okay, so I'm going to now push on. I've got to wave to get my light to work. Right, so okay, 9 degrees, 16 degrees, 10.9 volts. So what I'm waiting for is down here, I'm waiting for the wee sign coming in. It shows you the wee pump, the wee oil pump thing. So the motor is blowing. But the diesel pump's no work. Oh, there we go. I nearly thought I had a Houston, we have a problem moment, but fuck yeah. Okay. Right. It's cold there. Now bearing in mind, that's going to have a wee bit of air in it as well, so I'm hoping that this feed will sort itself through. Okay, so it's sitting here at 10 degrees Celsius, and I'm wanting to go to 20. Right, so there we go, if you can see that there, 10 degrees. That's blowing. That's blowing. Right. Let's go and see what the garage is looking at just now then. Oh, it's darky poo out here. Here, I'll hit a light on out here. Oh, aye. Oh, I feel this as soon as I come in here. Look. Ah, you dancer. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is how you run 2 diesel heaters from 1 tank and 1 power supply. Oh man. Cheers. So, I'll go and get this to warm up. I'm going to sit in here and play a bit, and I might do an update on how this has actually worked. But right now, that's heating the garage up. That's firing up and a way to heat up the summer house. The one result. What's next? Who knows? That's what random therapy is all about. Just random shit. You have a nice night, and until the next time, I'll see you there.